I want to share with you what I saw probably now about a month and a half ago, close to 2 months ago. I saw the assassination attempt of former President Donald Trump.
Sure, Jan.
And when I saw that, I was supposed to come. I was going to come. I was just in the last minute, before we went live, I felt a check in my spirit to hold on.
Right.
To hold on, and I did. Well, today the Holy Spirit mentioned to go online and share what I saw almost 2 months ago.
Yeah, that's what happened.
And by now, many of you know what happened a couple of days ago when a assassination attempt was taken against former President Donald Trump. So I saw the assassination attempt about a month and a half ago.
Liar!
And it came to pass. And I want to let you know that there's some things I'm going to say to you, some things I'm going to say here tonight that some people will misconstrue. In fact, I won't be surprised if out of the whole video, they will just extract a little bit, just like they usually do, to try to get me out of context, right? And put up whatever they want to put based on a little clip and not on the total video. I won't be surprised if some people will do this.
How dare you?
As I mentioned, I saw the assassination attempt on Donald Trump almost 2 months ago. I was watching the news.
Yes, exactly.
I was in my living room. My wife was with me in the living room when the Spirit of the Lord said to me, they will be attempting on his life, talking about Donald Trump. I turned around and I said to my wife, who was sitting in the living room, they are going to set this man up and they're going to have an attempt against his life while he is publicly addressing the crowd. Where sure enough, as we all know, a couple of days ago, this unfortunate thing took place. You see, the Bible tells us that God will not do, neither will he allow things to happen on the earth without revealing it to his servants, the prophets.
I'm special, so special.
Not only myself, but many prophets across this nation, many prophets across other nations have prophesied ahead of time that this was going to happen. Myself, Hubert Angel, Hank Kuhneman, and so many others. He said, I'm going to tell you, my son, I'm going to show you what's going to happen in America next. And God said this. Number one, pray for President Trump. And this is a month and a half ago. When he said to me that there would be an attempt made on his life back in June or the end of May.
Do you remember?
Tell my people to pray for Trump and for all the politicians that are under this threatened society. The second thing God said to me, and I want to make this very clear, you that are watching this video, because without a doubt, some idiot will extract a portion of this video out of context and just throw it out there. Many of you will just go by that little thing and believe what that video would be shown to you, instead of believing the whole context of what I am about to say. The Lord said to me, tell the people what's about to happen with Donald Trump in the next few months. I said, Lord, I don't want to say this. I don't want to come and speak about this point. But ladies and gentlemen, I am a prophet of the Lord.
Are you sure about that?
I don't care what people's opinions are.
We don't care.
There will only be one that will judge my soul, and that will be Jesus Christ, and not anyone watching. And here is what the Lord said. He said, let the people know. This is why I didn't want to come on social media. I don't care what people's opinions are. He said, let the people know there will be a second plot against Donald Trump. The second plot will shock the nation.
Well, we saw the extraordinary reaction last time when, Trump raised his fist into the air, and that image became one of the images of the campaign. I can't imagine that this one will have the same sort of impact.
The Lord said there will be a temporary turmoil and confusion on the streets surrounding the election results. He said this will bring confusion.
You don't say.
This will bring uncertainty.
You don't say.
And this will bring a lot of things that it will just cause some chaos temporarily.
You don't say.
I saw in the spirit, I saw groups of people gathering in different places of this nation the day before the election, during the election, and these were not groups that were getting on the line to vote. These were groups that were ready to do something.
Rhetoric is one thing, but now people are showing up with ballot boxes armed.
We should keep in mind that police presence at polling locations is not a new thing. This was very popular as an option in 2020 and 2018 when there were similar concerns about people hanging out at polling locations and drop boxes for not great reasons.
Some during this time will be crying out again, fraud, fraud, fraud. But the Lord said there will be no fraud this time. Some people will be crying out, fraud, even on social media. Fraud, fraud, fraud from either side, depending on the outcome. The Lord said also, tell my people to pray for discernment, because he said corporate media, mainstream media will try to present a narrative to the American people than what the facts of the elections will be. Pray for discernment so that you will know from my spirit what is the truth and what is not the truth. Not to go by what social media will show you. The other thing the Lord showed me was there will be 7 key states that will be very necessary for the outcome of the numbers of votes.
Here's why these 7 swing states are the kingmakers of the 2024 presidential election.
Former President Donald Trump is now leading President Joe Biden in all 7 states that will decide the 2024 election.
The new poll from the Wall Street Journal shows Mr. Trump with narrow leads in other swing states, leading President Biden in 6 of the 7 most competitive states.
There are 7 swing states in this year's election: Ohio, North Carolina, Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, Florida, and Pennsylvania.
And he said to me, son, there will be 2 out of those 7 states that will try everything in their power to delay the number, to delay the count of the votes.
In 2020, media outlets weren't able to declare the winner for 4 days after the election. And this year, we expect it's going to take even longer. In a couple of the swing states, particularly Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, state law doesn't allow election officials to touch those votes until Election Day.
There are battleground counties which could swing the whole outcome of this year's election. Two of them are Gwinnett County, Georgia, and Erie County, Pennsylvania, where the polls were showing President Biden and former President Trump neck and neck.
Since 2020, a number of counties across the country have instituted mandatory hand counting of ballots. There's also existing litigation across the states around overseas voters in Michigan, or undated mail ballots in Pennsylvania, or some of the new election rules in Georgia.
The Lord said to me, there will be a replacing of high people, high decision makers within the intelligence community. He said specifically, there will be a replacement, and I will cause it, of a high person.
I'm so wasted.
A high authority figure within the Secret Service. The person will resign.
A monumental and shattering failure at what it should have been a uniquely safe event. There were thousands of people who camped out all day here under the assumption this was going to be a political rally at which they were protected.
And finally, he says, son, tell my people to pray for President Biden. Yes. He said, because after the election, immediately after the election, somewhat, he said his physical self will down spiral very fast and very heavily.
Look, I'm not a young guy. That's no secret.
Until next time, this is Prophet Ed Citronella.
Huh?
Citronelli.
It is over.
If you vote for me, all of your wildest dreams will come true.